For for those of you new to my channel, this is Homebrewed's homepage. You can find it on my channel, Captain Obvious Adventures, on my home channel. It's the only channel I'm linked to. Now I use Homebrewed's channel a lot because he's got a lot of footage. He does really in-depth investigation. You can see these are completely time-stamped photos he's using. He does this response to Stewart, then he does one, and you can see they're all time-stamped. Very clearly time-stamped on these pictures. And this is relative to the horizon and stuff. So, but he goes and he's been around, and so he takes pictures himself, and he gets pictures from his subs, and everybody's noticed that, yeah, the moon's doing cartwheels. This is early on. This is before we went and saw the 300 tribes that also saw their moons doing cartwheels. Start building greenhouses. They didn't have to see the moon doing cartwheels, though, because they already knew we lived in a three-sun system and had noticed things were going differently. And it just took a little nudge for some of them to realize. But he does really in-depth as to why the hell what we're seeing shouldn't be seen. So that began October of 2010, and if you haven't noticed, that's from rise to set. It's doing a 180-degree roll, just like here in video response to Sarah music. It looks just like this in 12 hours. It'll rise just like a frown and set like a little creepy grin. Now I've seen people posting up that creepy grin all over the place. Drives me nuts. Okay, so I already did this video, but we're going to cover it. Because, see, we tilted 15 years ago, and for 3 years now, we've been monitoring Orion in the sky all summer. Now, as you can clearly read here, when is Orion visible? Orion is best visible in the evening sky from January to April. It really shouldn't be in the sky in the summer. And April Fool's is gone, the whole month of April, and we're halfway into May. June is next month, here in a couple weeks. Orion shouldn't be in the sky, visible, but yet there he is. He's under the sky. They're claiming Betelgeuse is going to be your second sun in the sky, and I found that particularly offensive to intelligence.
Two directions. You turn east, and there it is, blazing through the twilight like a second sun. A brilliant white star with a blood-red halo, so bright it hurts to look at directly. So bright it is, casting a second shadow of your body across the pavement. Red shadow, sharp and cold.
So, they're normalizing Orion basically being invisible in the summer here with this PBS guy. But if you take an orbit of Earth and understand Orion is a constellation star. Those ride the ecliptic and are visible with sunrise and sunsets on certain days as we orbit around our sun. And if we're seeing Orion in the sky all the time for 3 years, and all those, we're held in orbit, and that's we're tidal locked in orbit, and that's observable. That's something you can actually look into your sky and see. Do you see Orion? Yeah, there he is. There's a fucking belt. And you shouldn't. So, there you go. You shouldn't be seeing him in the summer. And we're retarded in our orbit. Because he's been there for a couple years now. This is our third year. We're going to see what it's doing, I guess. So far, he's still in the sky and really visible in the evening, just like they said, from January to April. But that's the winter hunter, you know. You actually start to be able to see him a little bit in December. Sometimes you should be able to for like an hour or two. But no, this motherfucker's in the sky late. He's behind us. For God's sake, he's nowhere near the sun. Is what I'm saying. And that's huge. That's huge. He's nowhere near the sun. So I have to say he's probably going to be there all summer again. Which leads me to, like, I know I sound crazy, but they're observationally true. And I've told you a million times, my name is Eric Sebastian Briggs. I stood down as top senatorial advisor after authoring the Davis Hemp Bill in 2014. It passed 42-2, well past the veto, 60%. Do the math. When hemp wasn't legal, it forced federal legalization of hemp because it normalized it and regulated it in the North Carolina Farm Bill and set precedents. I did that. You're welcome. CBD to your joints. That's great. I wanted it for the tanks in your cars. We've also covered that in a couple of these videos here. Could save the world. We don't have to murder each other for hemp. But what I'm getting at is, dude, a lot of you guys found me before Rona, and you were with me through Rona. You found me on this channel after they took down my other channels for being absolutely correct. I nailed the day of lockdown. I told you Wendy's wasn't going to be able to sell beef. Actually, I said that the grocery stores would be such a depravity, they're not going to be able to explain it if they don't have a total lockdown on our nation. And have to the point where they actually have to take control of the supply chain of the food. I said, and this is what, you know, the last day they can do it is the day we got locked down. And then 2 weeks later, Wendy's couldn't sell beef because the butcher was sick. And if I called it out months beforehand, of course, it wasn't because the fucking butcher was sick, and that's why you guys found me after Rona. And because I've always been so accurate. With all the way up, I mean, I told you the Queen was dead, all these things. Just, I'm not only about me being told how you had to die and showing you how it's going to happen incrementally right down to Russia, China, North Korea simultaneously nuking us. We're going through the starting of that right now, and we're watching this shit on Iswa reach new plateaus. And as they're doing the dance, they're watching this too. And they're probably watching this channel. Facebook, flashback, long time ago, motherfucking think tank approaches me, meteorologists and people like that, and they're like, I'm like, well, I kind of hoped you'd approach me to show me where I was wrong. There's like, no, you're the world's foremost information on this because you're the only one fucking you found this. Well, yeah, I did, but I knew what I was looking for. See, I knew what I was looking for. And when you know what you're looking for, you can usually find it if it's there. Just like that site in Michigan when we uncovered the massive jade feathered serpents and those temples up there in Hastings, right here on the post section, dude. What I'm getting at is, like, here, this might be a little longer one. It's about 10 minutes, right? The fucking turtle. This one right here. Another person, when Lisa came from chat, we didn't know her, but she lived 20 minutes from where I was digging. And this is her first 7 minutes in the fucking hole. It is amazing. No less than fucking world-shattering amazing what we're doing. Right there. And how many views that shit got? Not enough. Alright, hang on.
In this war. There's really no other way to put it. As long as they have control of the Strait of Hormuz, they basically have the global economy by the ball sack. And you need to looting the treasury.
So this guy, personally, this whole network that he's in, the new news guys network, it's him and was it a Beasley guy and fucking a couple of these fucking guys hang out and they do this news shit together too. They're all in this little network. Anyway, I have offered every one of them a million times offers. But the more I look at them, I'm all like, oh my God, these guys are so fucking, they are what it is. But you look at how many views they got in an hour, he's like almost 20,000 views. For this level of reporting.
And, giving us subpar products that are not fit for war in the year 2020.
So he's talking about our big military budget, and it's not untrue.
6. Okay, so 16 of our bases burned to a crisp. They control the Strait of Hormuz. But every morning, what happens is Trump's generals show him.
And see, this is where he starts getting it wrong, and he's feeding it back, and it's fanning flames.
A highlight reel of things that they blew up. And Trump, of course, we've attacked this, we've attacked that, we destroyed them, we blew things.
Number 2, I get to hear Trump's bullshit enough. I don't need you fucking sitting here trying to imitate him. Everybody does that, from Kimmel to this fucking guy.
Okay, like, congratulations, you bombed a girls' school and a bunch of hospitals, and you bombed power plants and bridges. Does best, which is authoritarian dictatorial tactics. And so take a look at this. He posted the other day on Lie Social. When the fake news says that the Iranian enemy is doing well militarily against us, it's virtual treason, in that it is such a which it is not open. That means that the Trump regime is caught. There's nowhere for them to go. There's nothing for them to do. Iran now controls the terms. Iran can now say, you need to pay us reparations for your illegal war against us.
So he goes over the demands, and the demands haven't changed since day one. I made a video, and they make sense. They want us out of the region. And but the way he words it, it's now they can demand this as if it changed. He's following the rhetoric that's being given, and then he covers this whole it's treason for reporting against our king, and that's a death sentence. I made a video about that too, but what I'm getting at, the way he foots the bill.
Not the biggest strategic blunder, on top of, immoral atrocities, but strategic blunder of all time, from the perspective of this greatly damages the U.S. and our position.
And it does. But what part of, as the world cheers, Russia, China, and North Korea are going to nuke us, doesn't this fucking kid understand?
And our standing. Also now, any adversary we have knows just how weak we are, knows just how much of a paper tiger we are. We spend a shitload of money on our military, but apparently...
And then you've already heard that. But it kills me how these guys get all angry and stuff, and they're feeding into the narrative, but they're stirring up the pot at the same time. It's kind of telling. Especially with a track record like mine, and knowing who the fuck I am. My name may be Catfish, but that doesn't mean that I'm... Well, that's been for fucking years proven. I'm not guessing over here. I'm not catfishing anybody. I've given the truth as it was told to me by a senator, and I stood down, turned down my bunker that was supposed to protect my son with y'all in mind. Now, I don't have 20,000 views, but I'd ask you to share, like, and subscribe. Maybe we can get there one day. I've been doing this for years. I don't think so. They're suppressing me. I'm just saying. Spread the word, people. This is a plan. It isn't incompetence. They're not out of touch. They just don't want you in the bunkers because they know we live in a 3-sun system, and you're going to want to get in there because they didn't tell you. If they had told you the truth, you wouldn't be scared. It's just, and if you are, then fucking get to my post section and calm down. If that ain't enough for you, get to my other older videos and start looking. Look at this one. They fear you. And that's real. That's physics. They're talking physics thousands of years ago. And this is physics here. So is this. This is homebrew. Homebrew came from Virginia to Colorado to see that. And he made that video. So if you doubt this, listen to him. He's not going to lie for me. Have a beautiful day, folks. Embrace your amazing self.